Hello and welcome back to the Movie Memo Recaps. Today we are going to recap a 2017 movie titled Sleepless. Please be advised that there are spoilers ahead. The movie begins with a pair of masked individuals pursuing a van. Eventually, they collide with the van's SUV equivalent, causing it to crash into a barrier. Following the crash, the mask-wearing duo exits their vehicle, prompting the van's driver to do the same. As they are preparing to steal a bag from the van's rear compartment, an unexpected car arrives. The newcomers, armed and prepared, engage in a shootout with the masked couple. The disguised individuals, Vincent and Sean, turn out to be undercover police officers. Unfazed, they engage the newly incoming thugs, successfully neutralizing one before their police colleagues arrive. Hearing the impending scream of police sirens, the surviving crooks decide to flee, leaping into their cars and racing away. Concurrently, Vincent and Sean grab the duffel bag and flee before police reinforcements arrive. Sean uncovers a stunning find in their vehicle. The bag they had just stolen contained 25 kilograms of cocaine, worth millions of dollars. The officers had not anticipated the crooks' rapid onslaught, which made Sean fearful that they might have recognized Vincent. When Vincent returns home, he discovers a telegram from his spouse telling him to come and pick their son. The viewer then learns that Vincent, an internal affairs agent, has been infiltrating a legendary criminal syndicate for the past 2 years. His colleague, Sean, works with the criminals, but Vincent's major targets are casino owner Stanley Rubino and gang boss Rob Novak. We introduce Agent Jennifer, a new character, as she walks into the department sporting a facial cut. Her colleagues are puzzled, but she ignores them. She shares with a police psychologist a recent incident where she attempted to shut down a methamphetamine factory, only to face assault from a criminal. Despite the fact that many of her peers believe she should rest, Jennifer is determined to join the investigation into the illegal drug ring. The entire police team, including Vincent, learns about the gunshot incident from the previous evening back at the precinct. Vincent successfully persuades the chief to assign the case to him and Sean. Soon after, they arrive at the crime scene. This is where Vincent and Jennifer meet for the first time and start gathering evidence. Tension builds as each wants to lead the case. Later, Vincent goes to the hospital to pick up his son Thomas for sports practice. Vincent discovers his ex-wife, Dana, is engaged to another man. Since Vincent began the investigation, Dina and Thomas have been aware of his seclusion, but they remain unaware of the details. Vincent, enraged at Dina's plans to remarry, gifts her with stolen flowers. Regardless, she has no plans to reconcile with him. Vincent collects his son, and they both get inside the car. Throughout the journey, Vincent attempts to explain to his son the reasons behind his frequent absences. However, an unexpected accost on the parkway abruptly ends their conversation. A pair of men confronts them, stabbing Vincent in the stomach and kidnapping Thomas. Not long after, Vincent receives a phone call from Rubino, who admits he is aware of Vincent's cocaine heist. Rubino then delivers an ultimatum. Return the stolen valuables to his Luxus casino within 3 hours, or face Novak and his family's wrath. Jennifer continues to delve deeper into Vincent's personal history and past. Vincent soon finds himself in a public restroom, attempting to cure his stab wounds. Shortly after, Sean enters and encounters an outburst from Vincent, who demands the return of the stolen bag, asserting that his son's life hinges on it. It is at this point that Vincent realizes they may have robbed the wrong person and suspects Sean's complicity. Regardless, Sean swears it was an inadvertent error and quickly departs to retrieve the luggage. Later, Novak taunts his cousin, a DEA mole and one of the men Vincent and Sean shot during the bag theft. Novak hangs his cousin upside down, fires pellet rounds at him, and then orders his men to slash the informant's tongue. Simultaneously, Rubino holds Thomas captive in a separate room, his fate relying on his next decision. As twilight sets, Vincent walks to Rubino's casino, bag in hand. During his journey, he receives a call from Dina, who is desperately searching for their son. Vincent fabricates a narrative about a fight that led to Thomas fleeing. When Vincent arrives at the casino, he hides half of the cocaine in a trash bag and suspends it from the ceiling of a stall in the men's restroom. He then goes upstairs to negotiate with Rubino about his son's return. Jennifer, who has concerns about Vincent's deceit, arrives at the casino to do her own investigation. She decides to visit the bathroom after seeing Vincent enter with a bag. She begins a hunt for any potential proof in the restroom. When a security guard recognizes her as a fellow spy, he suggests that she should observe Vincent loitering around the restroom. She intensifies her investigation of the stalls, eventually discovering the hidden bag of cocaine. She quickly calls her colleague and reveals that her concerns regarding Vincent's involvement with criminals were right. Meanwhile, Vincent is actively negotiating his son's release, proposing to exchange the remaining cocaine. He uncovers the second half of the cash and promises to deliver it within 10 minutes of his son's release. Rubino responds with a warning, saying that the stolen cocaine belongs to Novak, a considerably more ruthless and unpredictable criminal than Rubino himself. Despite the perilous circumstances, Rubino accepts Vincent's request and gives him a 10-minute window to deliver the remaining stolen pills. Jennifer simultaneously takes the uncovered stockpile to the spa's women's locker area. When Vincent realizes the bag has vanished, he becomes extremely agitated and begins a search for it. Novak enters the casino during the pandemonium and presses Rubino for cocaine. Rubino asks Novak to wait another 10 minutes and offers him a drink. Shortly after, Novak begins to make threats, implying that his father, the boss of an even larger criminal enterprise, will intervene. Security personnel examine CCTV footage in an attempt to identify Vincent, who is moving through the facility via the ventilation system and eventually ends up in a laundry room. After changing into more fashionable attire, he enters a storage area and begins filling bags with sugar to compensate for the lost cocaine. He goes to the bar and orders the bartender to deliver a bottle of wine to Rubino's office. Simultaneously, he displays the sugar-filled bag, showing his true identity as a police officer. He also fabricates a scenario, claiming that law enforcement is on its way and urges them to take a secret exit. When the server arrived with the wine, the criminals mistook him for a cop. Novak departs, grateful for the alleged heads-up. Rubino releases Thomas and instructs Vincent to leave the premises. Later, while investigating the contents of the bag, Novak discovers the sugar, causing him to send his men back to the casino. Meanwhile, Thomas reunites with his father, and they begin to leave. Novak confronts Rubino, furious that he received sugar instead of the promised cocaine. Rubino, still convinced he has Thomas in his hands, tells Novak that he can deliver the actual drugs. He dispatches a henchman to find Thomas. Vincent's stab wound reopens as he hides with his son. He tells Thomas about his involvement in a massive drug trafficking operation. Rubino's enforcer unexpectedly runs into them, triggering a kitchen confrontation. Thomas dives into the conflict, hoping to help his father. Vincent manages to overpower the henchman, sending him tumbling through a window and into an office. In a different location, Novak orders his underling to inform the agents that whomever can deliver Sean and Vincent to him will receive a significant payment. Henchman arrests Thomas on the dance floor as Vincent and Thomas try to leave the club. Novak threatens Rubino with death if he fails to retrieve the stolen drugs. Jennifer and her colleague attempt to win the casino for Vincent, but are unsuccessful. Her partner proposes they return to the precinct and continue their search the next day. To blend in, Vincent disguises himself as a hotel staff member. However, he runs into Jennifer, who recognizes him right away and pursues him. Following a lengthy pursuit, the two engage in a physical altercation inside one of the rooms. Vincent succeeds in shackling Jennifer to the bed before revealing his position in the case, admitting that he has been working secretly for 2 years. This covert mission has entailed keeping his loved ones in the shadows, ending in his son's abduction. In another scene, Rubino and a henchman administer a being to Thomas, but they fail to secure the door as they leave. This error allows Thomas to leave the room and steal Rubino's phone. Jennifer reveals the location of the hidden drugs, forcing Vincent to go to the locker area. In the meantime, she manages to escape and informs her companion Dennison of Vincent's location. Vincent's search for the bag is unsuccessful, it has vanished. Dennison stumbles and finds it, resulting in a physical altercation with Vincent. After a protracted battle, Vincent incapacitates Dennison in a hot tub, but ensures his evacuation before he drowns. Meanwhile, Thomas uses the stolen phone to notify Vincent of his current whereabouts. Sean soon arrives at the casino, responding to Vincent's request to supply a police outfit. A henchman's appearance interrupts their contact, resulting in a shootout between Sean and the henchman. Concurrently, Dina, Vincent's ex-wife, quits the hospital and rushes for the casino, suspecting something is wrong. When Vincent inspects Sean's phone, he finds a message from Dennison. Dennison has been cooperating with Novak and has alerted his superiors that the pills have gone missing, implying that Vincent may hold the key to their retrieval. Dennison and Jennifer discover Sean's lifeless body. Dennison chokes Sean as Jennifer calls for reinforcements, knowing he has been living a double life as a cop and a criminal. Dennison informs Jennifer that he is leaving to meet with the backup. His real destination is a covert meeting with Novak in an elevator. The encounter reveals that Dennison has been bribing other agents to protect Novak's operations. Novak, anticipating the arrival of the police, chastises Dennison for failing to fulfill his responsibilities. Dennison responds, claiming that he has a full list of Novak's and his family's information, and warns him that his death would result in the dismantling of their operations in Vegas. In the following scene, Vincent causes havoc in the nightclub, clashing with Rubino's foot troops. He shatters champagne bottles and kills the henchman before fleeing with Thomas. They control a display Ferrari and leave under Novik's gunfire. Jennifer, Dennison, and a group of officers foil Rubino's escape attempt. Vincent and Thomas rush to the parking lot, pursued by Novik's henchmen. Vincent exits the car and instructs his son to continue driving while he deals with the pursuers. Novik then starts flooding the garage with tear gas canisters. As a henchman approaches Thomas, Vincent intervenes, engaging in combat. His injuries take their toll, and he falls. When the henchman approaches to shoot him, Thomas uses an SUV and rams the attacker. A henchman is about to shoot Vincent and Thomas when Dina appears and kills him with a gun she obtained. Novik then advances, firing a storm of rounds from his automatic gun. Vincent emerges and tries to negotiate with Novik, but a bullet pierces his chest. He crumples to the ground, absorbing the injury, and responds with a shot that kills Novik. Vincent contacts Jennifer while on his way to the hospital, informing her about Dennison's unlawful actions. With her newfound information, she takes aim at Dennison, but he responds quickly, grabbing a handgun and shooting her first. He then executes Rubino and the vehicle's driver, resulting in a devastating car flip and collision. Soon after, more law enforcement officials arrive on the scene. Dennison tells a story, blaming Rubino's supposed lunacy for Jennifer's attack, but the injured woman emerges from the damaged vehicle, telling the officers to detain Dennison. The hospital quickly transports Jennifer and Vincent for emergency medical care. Dina and Thomas are by Vincent's bedside when he regains consciousness. Jennifer arrives into Vincent's chamber, and he compliments her on her impressive law enforcement performance. Meanwhile, a forensic team rushes to the garage site, the scene of Novik and his associates' deaths. Novik's phone, still at the crime scene, rings. He receives the call from his father. An undercover DEA agent on their payroll takes the phone. He informs Novik's father, explaining the situation and announcing his son's death. Thank you for watching. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe for more recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.